Have you ever felt like you were right on the edge of receiving guidance, but couldn't quite hear what the universe was trying to say? Maybe your energy feels off, or you're sensing something big is shifting in your life, but you just can't put your finger on it. If you've been feeling this subtle restlessness, like something important is about to be revealed, then today's video was meant to find you. In this reading and energy update, we're not just pulling cards, we're diving into a powerful intuitive download that came through during my meditation this morning. It was one of those rare moments when the message came in clearly, even before I hit record. And I believe it holds something deeply relevant for you and this beautiful collective. As we move through the reading, I'll be weaving that energetic message with the cards in real time, creating something that's more free-flowing, more aligned, and more personal to the shifts you may be experiencing right now. By the end of this video, you may walk away with a deeper clarity about what's moving in your energy field. You may realize that the signs you've been noticing weren't random. They were part of a bigger spiritual message meant just for you. This reading might not only resonate, it may help unlock something that's been waiting for your attention, something that empowers you to realign, release, or finally take that next step forward. So, if you feel called to co-create in this space, if you want to tune your energy into this collective message, make sure to subscribe. When you do, I can tap into your energy even more clearly in future readings. And guess what? Thank you for being here. Let's step into this message together. Let's dive into the reading. Number 1. The Masculine's Awakening. A shift from ego to emotion. The first card that made its presence known was Door to Value, upright, radiating strongly through the frequency of the heart chakra. This card speaks volumes about a shift taking place within the masculine. There's a powerful realization dawning within him, and it centers around how he sees you, divine feminine. Something within his heart is awakening. He's beginning to perceive you in a completely different light, not just with his eyes, but with his soul. You're no longer just a person to him, you're a mirror, a guide, and a deep source of emotional truth. Even if he hasn't found the words to express this change, the emotional waves within him are undeniable. He's been feeling overwhelmed, flooded with a kind of emotional intensity that he isn't used to confronting. And you, divine feminine, in your intuitive nature, have likely sensed it without needing to hear a single word. You feel the pull. You've noticed the energetic shifts. On some subconscious level, you already know he's going through something profound. But here's where it gets even more revealing. The biggest internal battle he's facing is anchored in his sacral chakra, the seat of desire, intimacy, and creativity. And emerging from that space is the Thinking Man card, which brings forward the presence of ego. Right now, ego is clashing with everything the sacral chakra stands for. Vulnerability feels threatening. Intimacy feels unsafe. Transparency feels like exposure. I can almost hear his inner voice trembling as it confesses, "I can't hide from you, divine feminine, and that terrifies me. But even more deeply, I can no longer hide from myself." This is not just emotional turbulence. It's a spiritual transformation in motion. And it was you who sparked it. Your light, your presence, your unwavering authenticity have ignited something within him that can't be extinguished. He is slowly shedding the layers of pretense and emotional suppression that once protected him. The mask he wore to navigate the world is crumbling, and as terrifying as that may be for him, it's also freeing. He's no longer just waking up to who you are, he's waking up to who he truly is. And while he may not be ready to say it out loud just yet, his soul is already speaking volumes. Before we move on to the next part of this powerful reading, take a moment to reflect on what you've just heard. Can you feel the shift in your masculine's energy? Do his silent emotions resonate with something deep inside of you? If this message touched your heart or helped bring clarity to your journey, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Feel free to share your experience in the comments below, or simply type, "He can't hide from me anymore," to affirm this awakening energy within your connection. And if you're finding value in this reading, don't forget to give it a like. It truly supports the channel and helps this message reach more souls who need to hear it. Number 2. Recognizing the divine feminine's true worth. When I asked Spirit how the Divine Masculine is now perceiving your value, Divine Feminine, the Victory card appeared upright, an undeniable confirmation that a profound internal transformation is taking place. Though this change may not yet be visible on the surface, a spiritual breakthrough is unfolding deep within him. Something significant is shifting in the energy field, and even if it's happening quietly behind the scenes, it's already in motion. What triggered this awakening? The answer lies in the solar plexus chakra card, which came out in reverse. This suggests the transformation began when the masculine experienced a major loss, perhaps a job, a relationship, or even an identity he once clung to in the 3D world. That loss, though painful, cracked open the illusion of control and allowed him to glimpse the deeper truth beneath the surface of his old life. It pushed him to confront his sense of self, revealing how fragile and externally defined his confidence truly was. This loss wasn't just a setback, it was a gateway, a spiritual dismantling that made room for a higher awareness to take root. The pairing of the reversed solar plexus with the upright anxiety card tells us he's currently in a state of deep uncertainty and emotional unrest. He feels lost, disoriented, and deeply anxious, especially when it comes to his connection with you, the Divine Feminine. What once felt secure or manageable now feels completely out of his control. The situation has moved rapidly, transitioning from stagnation to unpredictable change. But here's the key truth. The control he believed he had was never real. It was only an illusion, one built by the ego to protect him from vulnerability. And now that illusion is shattering. This moment of reckoning is painful for him, but it's also sacred. Because in losing the illusion of control, he's beginning to truly see you, not through the lens of fear or power dynamics, but through the lens of truth, reverence, and awakening. He is starting to recognize your true worth, not just as a partner, but as a divine mirror who reflects back to him the parts of himself he's been too afraid to face. Number 3. A wake-up call from Spirit. The masculine's moment of truth. This chapter in his journey is nothing short of a spiritual wake-up call. Through the intensity of recent events, the Divine Masculine is beginning to recognize just how deeply he has neglected his inner voice. The Door to Spirit card, appearing in reverse, reveals that he has long ignored the guidance of his own intuition, turning away from the very spiritual truths that have been gently nudging him all along. Now, however, Spirit is no longer whispering. It's calling out, loudly, clearly, and unmistakably. Adding to this revelation is the Angel of Love in reverse, a powerful sign that he is coming to terms with the ways in which he has blocked or even sabotaged the pure, unconditional love he has always longed for. He's beginning to understand that the love he seeks isn't something external to chase or control. It's something that must first be allowed and accepted. And tragically, he now sees that he pushed away the very love he craved the most. "I've only ever wanted to be fully loved," he confesses, words that echo through his heart like a long-forgotten truth. But deep down, he's starting to uncover the root of his resistance. For many Divine Masculines, childhood was marked not by unconditional acceptance, but by a love that came with conditions, expectations, and emotional distance. That early experience shaped his beliefs about love, teaching him to guard his heart and to question whether he was truly worthy of being loved just as he is. These realizations are coming through rapidly, with almost overwhelming clarity. He's being flooded with emotional insight about himself, about love, and most importantly, about the Divine Feminine. He's beginning to see how he projected old wounds onto this sacred connection, unknowingly repeating cycles that were never truly his to carry. And yet there is hope, because this awakening, as painful as it may be, is also the start of his healing. In the extended reading, I'll be channeling deeper messages from Spirit, revealing more about the truths the Divine Masculine is uncovering, and how his heart is beginning to open to the love he once feared. Imagine a man who has spent his whole life building walls around his heart, walls that were never meant to keep love out, but rather to protect him from the pain of not being enough. As a child, he learned that love came only when he behaved a certain way, succeeded, or silenced his emotions. So, when he finally meets the Divine Feminine, the one who offers him love without conditions, without expectations. He doesn't know how to receive it. At first, he pushes it away, questions it, and even tries to control it. He may disappear, act indifferent, or sabotage the connection altogether. Not because he doesn't care, but because it feels unfamiliar, even frightening. But then something happens. Life takes something away from him, a relationship, a job, or his sense of identity, and for the first time, he is left standing in silence, stripped of the masks he used to wear. In that silence, Spirit finally speaks. He begins to remember the love he rejected. He replays the way she looked at him without judgment, the way she stayed soft even when he turned cold. And in that moment, he realizes it was never her love he couldn't trust. It was his own belief that he didn't deserve it. That's when the real awakening begins, not with fireworks, but with surrender, with the quiet recognition that the love he feared is the very love that has the power to heal him. Number 4. Divine Feminine's energetic shift, a call to freedom. There was something unusually compelling that led me to record this reading earlier than I had planned. It wasn't just intuition, it was a wave of powerful energetic downloads specifically intended for the Divine Feminine. This message is deeply resonant with your current state of transformation. While parts of it may also apply to awakened Divine Masculines, the core of this energy, its origin, its direction, and its purpose, is undeniably centered around you, the Divine Feminine. Lately, many of you have been receiving subtle yet persistent signs. These messages have come through in dreams, meditations, synchronicities, and even fleeting emotions or conversations that feel strangely significant. Whether you've been fully aware or only partially conscious of them, your spiritual guides and the universe have been communicating something important. That the structure of time, the shape of your soul connections, and the rhythm of your journey are all shifting. And this change isn't isolated to your romantic path. It touches every thread of your life, including platonic relationships, soul contracts, and your own identity. One word keeps coming through loud and clear: untethered. This isn't just a feeling, it's a vibrational truth. You are being energetically released from people, timelines, patterns, and versions of yourself that no longer serve your highest alignment. What once held you in place, whether that be outdated hopes, stagnant emotional bonds, or karmic loops, is now being loosened. You're not losing your path, Divine Feminine. You're being unbound from what kept you walking in circles. This is a moment of spiritual liberation, and it may feel both exhilarating and disorienting. You're being invited to float freely toward the future without clinging to the old narratives. The universe is gently removing the anchors so that you can finally rise. This energetic shift is not accidental, it is sacred. It marks the beginning of a more authentic embodiment of your divine power, unshackled, unrestrained, and completely sovereign. Trust the process, even if it feels unfamiliar. You are not drifting, you are becoming untethered so that your soul can fly. Number 5. Understanding timeline shifts. The spiritual impact of rapid evolution. What many of you may not yet fully realize is that you became energetically untethered from specific timelines years ago, most likely at the onset of your spiritual awakening. For a significant portion of you, around 60 to 70%, this awakening was initiated by a profound and often unexpected encounter with your twin flame in the physical realm. That meeting was more than just a moment in time. It was a spiritual catalyst, a soul-level ignition that set you on a new path of accelerated evolution. Prior to that awakening, your life followed a relatively linear path. You were anchored to a single dominant timeline, surrounded by a vast network of potential trajectories, some above, some below, each representing different choices, soul lessons, and future outcomes. These were all stacked like parallel dimensions, each waiting to be activated depending on your frequency and choices. When a psychic or intuitive reader connects to your energy to offer insights into the future, they are essentially tuning into one of those timelines, one that is most likely aligned with your current energetic state at the moment of the reading. But here's where it gets fascinating. For many of you, those readings may have seemed inconsistent, contradictory, or confusing. You may have wondered, Why do different readers keep giving me different messages? The answer isn't that the readings were wrong or misleading. It's that your energy field, your entire frequency, is shifting so rapidly that by the time one reader tunes into your field, you may have already moved into an entirely new timeline. This is the nature of spiritual acceleration. As you continue to heal, grow, and embody more of your higher self, your vibration rises, and with it, your available timelines shift. What was once a likely future may no longer apply just days or even hours later. That's how powerful your transformation has become. You are not locked into a fixed destiny. You are co-creating your future moment by moment, breath by breath, simply by staying aligned with your highest truth. So if you felt disoriented or confused by shifting predictions or sudden changes in your path, know this: it's a sign of your spiritual strength, not your instability. You are transcending the limits of a single timeline and stepping into multidimensional flow. You are becoming untethered from fate and stepping into your power as the architect of your reality. Number 6. The role of twin flames across timelines, a soul resonance that transcends time. One of the most profound aspects of the twin flame journey is how this connection transcends not just space, but time itself. Your twin flame is not simply someone who understands you deeply or stirs something within you. They are your mirror soul, sharing your identical core soul frequency. This shared frequency acts like a spiritual tether, ensuring that no matter how timelines shift or how far apart you may be in the physical realm, your souls remain in resonance. This is precisely why the bond becomes more intense, more magnetic, and more undeniable after a spiritual awakening. Once your consciousness expands and begins to rise in frequency, the energetic connection with your twin flame amplifies. It doesn't matter if you're in the same room or on opposite sides of the world. The connection deepens because your soul begins to fully remember its counterpart. That remembrance pulls the two of you together, timeline after timeline, echoing through lifetimes and dimensions. While this profound resonance is unique to twin flames, a similar, though slightly softer, vibration exists with soulmates. These are individuals who share a closely aligned frequency with you. Though not a perfect mirror like your twin flame, soulmates walk beside you in many lifetimes, supporting your growth, mirroring important lessons, and journeying with you through major soul contracts. Whether it's a soulmate or a twin flame, these connections don't vanish when your path changes. They evolve with you, moving fluidly across timelines. That's why you might witness couples, like your grandparents, or an older couple who've stayed together for decades, living out a bond that feels timeless. They may never have used the terms soulmate or twin flame, and they may never have consciously awakened, but that doesn't mean they weren't deeply connected. These are often unconscious soulmate unions, bonded by a frequency of familiarity and love that followed them across time. Even without spiritual awareness, life's natural ups and downs, crises, transitions, heartbreaks, nudged them into shifting timelines together, just at a slower, more subtle pace. Understanding this helps explain why some connections feel so eternal, so unshakably woven into the fabric of your soul. These aren't accidents or coincidences. They are part of your soul's blueprint, threads of love that weave through your lifetimes, regardless of how reality bends around you. If you've made it this far, it's no coincidence. You were meant to receive these messages. Take a moment to reflect on how these shifts in timelines, soul connections, and twin flame energy are unfolding in your own life. Have you felt yourself becoming untethered? Have you noticed your relationships growing stronger, even across distance or time? We'd love to hear your story, whether it's a powerful reunion, a quiet inner knowing, or a moment of synchronicity that changed everything. Share your experience in the comments below, or simply type, "I am aligned with my highest timeline," as a powerful affirmation to anchor in this truth. Your words carry energy. Let them echo into the timeline you're now stepping into. Number 7. The midlife crisis versus conscious awakening. A deeper understanding of timeline shifts. For most people living a conventional life, timeline shifts are rare and usually occur only 2 or 3 times throughout their lifetime. These moments are often triggered by major life disruptions or emotional upheavals, what society commonly refers to as a midlife crisis. During these intense phases, people begin questioning their purpose, their relationships, and the direction their life is heading. It's a moment of reckoning that can either lead to personal transformation or emotional breakdown, depending on how it's navigated. However, for those of us walking a conscious spiritual path, the experience is vastly different. Timeline shifts aren't occasional, they're ongoing. We find ourselves constantly shifting and realigning as we elevate our frequency and expand our awareness. These are not random events, but intentional spiritual recalibrations that reflect our inner growth. Unlike the few disruptive changes experienced by most, we're experiencing what could be considered quantum leaps in our soul's evolution, compressing what might take hundreds of lifetimes into one. This accelerated path of conscious awakening allows for extraordinary growth, but it doesn't come without its share of challenges. As we rise in vibration, our energetic resonance changes, and this often creates dissonance with the people, places, and situations that were once aligned with us. Our human selves, still wired for emotional connection and familiarity, may resist these changes. We become attached to timelines, relationships, and identities that no longer serve our higher self. Letting go of them can feel like a death, but it is, in truth, a rebirth. So while the average person may face a handful of seismic inner shifts in their life, the spiritually awakened individual is constantly moving through portals of transformation. Each shift peels away another layer of illusion and brings us closer to the truth of who we are. And with each shift, we're not just changing our path, we're becoming the version of ourselves we were always meant to be. Number 8. Challenges in dating karmic attachments. Navigating love after awakening. If you've ever tried to step back into the dating world after experiencing a soul-deep connection, especially one rooted in spiritual awakening, you may find yourself feeling disconnected, even when everything on the surface appears right. You meet someone, there's a spark, perhaps even intense chemistry, but then, almost without warning, you feel emotionally distant, disengaged, or uncertain. It's not that you're sabotaging yourself, and it's not that the connection isn't real. The truth is, you've shifted timelines, but they haven't. This phenomenon is particularly common for those who have undergone deep soul transformation. You're no longer operating solely in the realm of 3D attraction or conventional relationship dynamics. You've evolved. And yet, karmic connections often appear during this phase, intense bonds rooted in the old you, in outdated patterns or lessons that still seek closure. These karmic ties can feel magnetic, but they are tethered to a version of you that your soul is outgrowing. Trying to maintain a connection with someone who isn't aligned with your new frequency often leads to emotional friction. You may feel yourself shrinking to maintain the bond, questioning your path, or feeling guilty for needing more. In truth, it's not about whether the person is good or bad. It's about whether they can walk with you on the next stretch of your journey. Karmic attachments teach us one of the most painful yet liberating spiritual lessons. Sometimes we must choose our soul's expansion over emotional comfort. This is why spiritual awakenings often disrupt our romantic lives, long-held friendships, and social circles. We're rising, and not everyone is meant to rise with us. Letting go doesn't mean you don't care. It means you're honoring your soul's call to evolve, even if it breaks your heart in the moment. The true path of awakening requires deep surrender. It's the courage to trust that the universe will replace every loss with something that resonates more truthfully with who you're becoming. And in that sacred space of letting go, you make room for a higher love, one that doesn't just meet you where you were, but sees you fully in where you're going. Number 9. Blossoming through chaos. The Divine Feminine's evolution beyond time. The journey of the Divine Feminine is not linear. It is multidimensional, ever-shifting, and deeply attuned to the rhythms of the soul. The presence of the Goddess of the Moon and Blossoming Abundance cards reveals a powerful truth. You are not just transforming, you are timeline jumping. You are continuously stepping into higher versions of yourself, guided by intuition, spiritual downloads, and a sacred inner knowing that refuses to be confined to the limits of the 3D world. This constant evolution brings beauty, expansion, and alignment, but it also comes with a price. One of the most noticeable effects is the sense of disconnection you feel when trying to build new 3D relationships. You may find that people you once resonated with no longer feel aligned, or that potential partners seem unable to meet you where you are. It's not that you're too much or too distant, it's that your soul now seeks those who can travel with you through time and space. Casual connections no longer satisfy your spirit. You crave depth, energetic attunement, and cosmic remembrance. Amidst this whirlwind of transformation, I'm receiving a strong energetic message. There is a divine masculine or a high-level soulmate who is traveling these timelines with you. For some of you, this presence has been subtle and unconscious. You felt them in dreams, synchronicities, sudden waves of emotion, or that unshakable knowing that they are still with you, even when you haven't spoken in months or years. For others, this connection has been more direct, a conscious relationship that, despite its complexity or periods of separation, continues to defy time, logic, and the expectations of others. Even in moments of chaos, your connection blossoms. Even in silence, their energy finds you. This is the sacred dance of divine union, where love transcends physical barriers and persists through every timeline shift. The more you trust your path, the more you blossom. And in doing so, you call in the one who is destined to rise with you. Before we move forward, take a moment to reflect on how this message resonates with your own journey. Have you felt the disconnection from 3D relationships as you've evolved spiritually? Do you sense someone, perhaps a divine masculine or soulmate, quietly traveling timelines with you, even from afar? Your story matters, and your insight could help someone else feel seen and understood. I'd love to hear from you. Share your thoughts in the comments below, or simply type, "I am blossoming through every timeline," to affirm your growth and anchor your light into this moment. Number 10. A connection rising from the ashes. A sacred reunion in motion. Something truly beautiful is unfolding, an energetic rebirth that many of you have been waiting for. The appearance of both the Magician in the mirror and Appreciation cards in the upright position is no coincidence. These cards carry the unmistakable vibration of twin flame energy, signaling that this connection, once weighed down by emotional confusion and stagnation, is now returning to a place of equilibrium. A balance is being restored not just between two souls, but within each soul individually. This is the energy of alignment, of reunion, not necessarily physical, but energetic, spiritual, and deeply felt across the dimensions. There was a time, divine feminine, when this connection may have felt like too much, too heavy, too painful, too unclear. Perhaps you found yourself stuck in an emotional loop, questioning your worth, questioning the journey, and wondering whether the love you held so sacred was ever going to be returned. But that cycle is finally breaking. The reversed broken heart card is a powerful confirmation from Spirit. The worst is behind you. The wounds that once bled with longing and disappointment are now beginning to close. The ache is softening. The emotional chaos is subsiding. And why is this shift happening now? Because you've done something truly powerful. You stepped into your divine feminine essence. You reclaimed your light. You stopped waiting, stopped chasing, and began choosing yourself. Your growth, your healing, your unwavering courage to stand in your truth has alchemized the entire dynamic. You've become the magnet, the mirror, the magic, and in doing so, you've allowed this connection to begin rising again, from the ashes of what once was, into the pure potential of what it can now become. There is deep heart healing taking place, not just within you, but within your divine masculine counterpart as well. They are feeling your light. They are sensing the shift. And for many, even if communication has been distant or non-existent, their higher self is reaching out to you, bridging the gap with love that transcends space and time. Although this reading has already extended to 30 minutes, there is still so much more waiting to be revealed. In the extended reading, we'll dive deeper into the soul contract behind this union, explore loving channeled messages between the masculine and feminine energies, and receive higher guidance from your spirit team to help you navigate this next phase of your journey. If you felt a stirring in your heart while listening, if something in you is awakening, then trust that this is meant for you. The connection is not over. It's only just beginning. This time, from a place of healing, power, and truth. Number 11. Final message, the sacred phoenix heart, a rebirth through love's fire. As we come to the close of today's reading, Spirit leaves us with a profoundly symbolic and timely message from the Rumi oracle, the sacred phoenix heart. This card, mystical, eternal, and drenched in divine poetry, has appeared once again, echoing the sacred cycles of death and rebirth that so many of you are currently moving through. It speaks of resurrection, of a love or dream that once seemed lost or lifeless, now stirring with renewed breath, ready to rise from the ashes. From the guidebook, Rumi whispers, "Under the cover of blood, love veils many rose gardens. In total faith, love tenderly guides every lover to the garden of the heart. Love says, 'There is a way, and I have traveled it many times.' These words are not mere metaphor, they are a map for your soul. They are a reminder that no matter how dark, painful, or final your current reality may feel, love knows the way. Love has been here before. Love is the path. You are being divinely guided through what seems impossible." Those closed doors, they are not punishments, but sacred protection. The heartbreak, it is the divine sculptor reshaping you into someone even more aligned with your highest truth. The pain, it is the fire through which your sacred heart becomes the phoenix. Release your grip on timelines that are crumbling. Let them fall. What's meant for you will not vanish. It will return in a higher form. You are not being punished, you are being prepared. The chaos is not the end, it's the beginning of something holy. Now is the time to trust in the rebirth, to surrender to what you are becoming. Let your sacred phoenix heart rise. Let love carry you back to life. As we bring this reading to a close, I want to thank you for being here and holding space for these messages. If something in this energy spoke to your soul, whether it brought clarity, comfort, or a sense of deeper knowing, I invite you to reflect and share your thoughts below. Let's start a conversation in the comments. And if this message touched you in any way, I challenge you to leave a specific quote from this reading that resonated most deeply with you. Your words might be exactly what someone else needs to see today. Don't forget to like and share this video with others who may be walking a similar path. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Your presence here not only helps me channel your energy more clearly, but it also strengthens the collective we're building together. Sending you light, love, and a reminder that your journey is sacred. I'll see you again in Friday's reading. Until then, stay open, stay grounded, and keep listening to the voice within.